Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. And if you're my previous subscribers, welcome to Baby Dinosaurs. And so we have a lot to talk about today. It's a lot of good information, a lot of good readings. I researched some things online, of course, to find out some questions and things we should talk about. We got some really interesting things, so definitely stay towards the end of the video. But just so you guys want to do a normal disclaimer, then we'll jump right into it, okay? So please notice it's being live streamed March 23rd at 2021 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I know a lot of you guys have to hear me say this, but this is for new people. I have a deaf accent. If you have a hard time pronouncing certain words throughout the video. If you have a hard time understanding me, please consider using closed captions as your guide. I promise it will help you. Disclaimer: all information I give during this reading and recording is simply my intuition, my understanding, and download the information from the higher power. Please also note that it's just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. Please note that when I read tarot, my intuition will give the cards its meaning and not Google. Before I do any readings that I do have an opinion about, I will always let you guys know in advance. Please also note that at the end of the video, we have an angelic reading and 2 Easter egg messages for you guys, so definitely stay tuned, okay? So we're going to do some tarot, but right before we do that, I want to briefly bring this up. Hello, Kathy. Hi, Jane. Hi, Angel. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Sharon. Hello, guys. Hi, Tara. Love you guys. So as you see here on your screen, let me just remove the banner so you guys can see this more clearly. If you have not voted, definitely please vote. This is a good way for me to be able to help grow the channel in the most appropriate way. Again, I'm trying to get to know you guys and try to cater my content more closely to you. For the ones who keep coming back, I'm referring to you. For those who not really coming back, it does not matter. I'm talking about the people who always come back. Your voice is heavily valued. And I will, of course, be responding to all the comments, but I figure I let everyone just get in, settle down, and then I'll respond. So as you see here on your screen, which I am going to show up right now, just definitely vote. Let me know. The reason why I wanted to talk to you guys today was because I wanted to ask is, what is Donald Trump's future? So towards the end of the video, if Donald Trump were to get reelected in 2024, he will not be the 45th president. He will be known as the 47th president. And I'll go a little bit more deeper in depth as we go on, and that will be towards the end of the video. So definitely stay tuned for that. And so we're going to begin the reading. We have a lot to get through. If you're watching this on replay, check the description. You have all the questions I'll be answering in the description below. So let's start, okay, guys? Okay, so we have. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Love you. Love you guys. Oh, I don't have a new hairdo. It just it's flat. All right, so Brad Raffensperger being primary challenged by Jody Hice, handpicked by Donald Trump for Georgia's Secretary of State. Will Brad win the Republican primary? Remember, he needs to win the Republican primary, or otherwise a Trump-like candidate is going to come in and going to fuck up the whole entire investigation into Donald Trump. This is what Donald Trump wants, right? So we're going to get a deep look into that. I didn't read on this, but I wanted to kind of get a deep understanding as will he win his seat, because that's really important, right? Hello, Doris. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. So Spirits and Angels tell me, will Brad Raffensperger win his Republican primary challenge against the Republican primary challenge, Jody Hice? Will Brad Raffensperger win? No. He will lose the primary. He will lose the Republican primary. So now that we know Brad Raffensperger is most likely going to lose the Republican primary, I would like to know if Jody Hice going to be able to win against the Democrat running for a Secretary of State in Georgia. So whoever this Democratic nominee for Secretary of State in Georgia, will Jody Hice, a Trump handpicked candidate, going to win the former seat held by Brad Raffensperger? What do we need to know? Okay, so what else do we need to know? Wait, Angel, are you talking about my hair? Okay, so what we have here as well is kind of interesting. So it doesn't look like, I can't say it for sure. Hold on, let me just get a little bit more in depth. Yeah, okay, it's exactly what I think it is. Okay, so again, what we have here is that if Jody Heights wins the Republican primary against Brad Rassenberger for the Secretary of State in Georgia, guys, definitely like this video. I noticed there's a lot more Trump supporters trying to dumb down my video, which means that it's less likely to get suggested to people who really need this. Oh, thank you, Angel. Yes, so we do have here the Pacer one, right? This is the leader. So he is the new leader, right? So if Jody Heights takes over, he's gonna lose the Secretary of State race, right? We have here, he's not gonna get enough votes in order to cross over. Again, I put the card back in the deck and it came out again. So no, he will not get that the votes to win. We do have here in the future though of Jody Heights, was it a hand Trump picks, Republican running against Brad Rassenberger, he's going to end up seeing a lot. And the challenge is it's the Democrat. The Democrat crossed that card, was telling me that it's a challenge to Republican Jody Heights if he was to, eventually defeat Brad Rassenberger in the Republican primary. And we have here that the main thing that makes Jody Heights a potential Republican nominee for a Republican primary against Brad Rassenberger for Georgia's Secretary of State is the incumbency. So he would not normally win. So this is a good thing for Democrats. We would rather have Brad Rassenberger or a Democrat as Secretary of State rather than Jody Heights, who has been pushing this narrative that there's been election fraud in Georgia. Hi, Clarence. Hi, Brenda. Hello, everyone who just came in. Hello, Anne. So I do hope you guys feel a little bit better about that. All right, so the next question I wanted to ask is, will the $3 trillion infrastructure plan pass in the House and the Senate? And then, of course, if it passes in the Senate, I'm sure Biden's going to sign it. So that's not something we need to read on. Now, I don't know exactly what the rules are when it comes to the $3 trillion infrastructure plan to pass in the House and the Senate. But I do know that if we don't get this passed, and if you guys have not watched out Coming Soon with the tsunami in the background of my thumbnail, that basically talked about the infrastructure being so weak. So that is the likely outcome for the United States and the world as a whole, but specifically the United States. We'll end up seeing major destruction caused by natural disasters, but really it's caused by humans and political power that should not belong there. So let's get a look at this. We need this. It will actually help the economy, believe it or not. So, Spirit saying, so tell me about this $3 trillion infrastructure plan. Will it pass in the House? Will the $3 trillion plan pass in the House? Okay, so I heard no, it will not. It needs revisions. Okay, so we have here the is to one. No, it's not going to pass through. This is normally the House of Representatives that can pass into the impeachment. This is talking about the House of Representatives. It's for first, which tells me the $3 trillion infrastructure plan will not pass in the House. And so, therefore, it will not go to the Senate. But the one thing I want to ask now is, will they revise it into a better plan to help the infrastructure in the United States? Will they revise it to help the infrastructure in the United States? Will there actually any sort of infrastructure plan be passed within the next 10 years in the United States? Okay. So we have money being stolen, but it's reversed. They tell me that the country's broke. The United States is broke. So we already knew that. Has been self-explanatory. I've been telling you guys this from the start. Now, please keep in mind, it's just for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so we have here, there is some sort of betrayal. There's a betrayal to a specific promise by the former president or the current president. Could be President Biden, right? We have here Biden. I think it might be Biden. This might be Biden. It is. No. Because this is weird. Because we have Trump here and then we have Biden. Right? That's the weird thing. I think it's both of them. There's something here with both of them. Maybe Biden's pushing this narrative that infrastructure is needed, but Trump been pushing this narrative infrastructure is not needed and it will be damaging to the national debt that Trump has added by almost $8.8 trillion. So again, it's kind of interesting. I want to ask who is it specifically? Is this Biden or is this Trump? Who is this Emperor card? Okay. Okay, so I heard in my ear, they will not have to support to get it through. Again, this is very bad. This is very bad. You need to get this through. And, part of my channel is that by me telling you guys a potential outcome, we lessen the chances of bad outcome from occurring. So that's something I learned throughout my channel, that by telling you guys, and listen, I'm not trying to scare you, so please don't think I'm fear-mongering you, but by sending the love and light, we're actually lessening the chance of it happening, right? So that's something that all of us need to understand, that this is kind of the same scenario. We need to send this love, energy, so it can pass through, because right now I'm hearing that it's not going to pass through. We don't have the votes, as you clearly see here. This is the current incumbent, which is not going to be able to help the incumbent, right? So as I see right now, President Biden won't be able to do just that, right? All right, so the next question that we have here is, of course, the Colorado shooting that killed 10 people and was charged with 10 counts of murder. What is the MO of the shooter? Now, I did not really look at the article. I just took the title and just added it in as a question. Also, some of you guys have suggested it, and I was like, I should definitely take a look on that. So we're going to certainly read on this. Now, please keep in mind that, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I am not a law official, anything like that, any source. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, that's all. Okay, Spirit Saints will tell me, why was the mass shooting throughout the United States in general? Let's just kind of get that idea first. Why are there always mass shootings occurring in the United States? I want to get to the bottom of that. Okay, so what I heard was that some people feel unstable at home. Some people are very untrusting and think those people are quote unquote part of the matrix. Another thing that I heard was some of these people are spies. So that's what I'm hearing. This is why we're getting massive murder throughout the United States. Again, please keep in mind, it's just for entertainment purposes only. Right? So what we're talking about here is that we have the Ace of Pentacles, right? It almost feels like they've been given these what did it called? I forgot. Oh my god, I literally forgot that one thing that people use to hurt somebody. I forgot what it's called. But you know what they mean. It feels like they've been given an arsenal. Best part. I'm gonna use that word, arsenal. They've been given it by someone else, someone who has the money and the funding to do it. It's almost like, well, we know you're gonna do it, so you don't really have a choice, but we're gonna give it to you anyway. That kind of like attitude, right? And we have here a lot of these people don't feel stable, right? Like I said, they don't have a home, they don't feel stable. What we have here, some of these people have been blackmailed into doing this type of thing, or they've been quote unquote frames. Now, I'm not accusing any of these people and saying that they've done something right or anything like that, but I'm just getting a general feel of what's really going on in the United States and why we're experiencing for the longest time now a mass shooting to mass murder, best part, right? So we have here again, it's been perpetrated by the media. So if you really want to blame anyone, blame the media, because the media is to blame for this, right? I mean, the media is pushing this narrative, quote unquote, a negative connotation on people into thinking that the world is not safe. And I just saw an answer number 1414. So for some of you guys who may resonate with that, of course, please definitely look that up on Google when this is over. We do have here a lot of these people are unable to fight the urge. They're unable to fight this urge within them to do some of these mass murders, right? And we have here, it almost feels like they made a dirty deal. So again, this goes for all different scenarios. Not all of this is true, but then again, just so you guys know, it does feel like as if, some of these people have been paid to do some of these type of things. So now the next thing that we're going to ask is, what is the MO of this particular shooter in Colorado? That's the 10 people who sadly passed away due to the shooting. So what is the motive behind the shooter? What is the motive? Is there anything else? Okay, I don't know what card that was, so I'm just going to leave it in there. Okay, that's a lot of energy. All right, so what I'm feeling from this person is that a lot of those people that they killed them because they saw them having a happy family. Now, I don't know exactly who got killed, so please let me know in the live chat if you know exactly who got killed, if it's a family or not. But this guy did see something. He's like, that's what I always wanted. They should not be happy because I couldn't be happy. That kind of attitude, right? And we have here crossed by childhood trauma, being traumatized as a child, being almost like this person has experienced so much trauma, so much so that this person's actually quite depressed. Like this person had a lot of not mental issues, because people are not mental and they don't have an illness, because that is just a standard being put forth by society. But it does feel like as if this person is very deeply troubled because he didn't get that childhood experience, which is why we always try to help other people and say that, children should maintain their innocence for in cases like this. But in this case, this person was unable to maintain their innocence for as long as they could, right? And we have here again this person very deeply troubled. And I think personally there might have been more than one person involved in this. Particularly, there is more than one person involved in this than what they're telling you. So again, that's what I'm getting from that particular reading about Colorado. Again, I'm just for entertainment purposes only. All right, so the next thing that we want to talk about is, will there be any form of gun control reform made in the next 10 years? Will the Senate pass any gun control? They've been putting this in the media now. The media's now talking about it, so it's the Senate about gun control. So I kind of want to look at this and kind of get like a broad overview to see what's happening specifically, right? So Spirits and Angels tell me, are the Democrats going to pass gun control, gun reform within the next decade? And like until 2030, 2031 even, what's the next 10 years going to look like with gun control? Now, personally, I will not tell you my opinion on this particular matter. I do have a particular opinion on this, but I am going to quite say it before I do, of course, read the cards. But let me just shuffle the cards first. So, Spirits and Angels, tell me about will they have any gun control or gun reform? Okay, so hold on. All right, so it does feel like I was saying, with my personal thing, I don't fully support gun control 100%, and the reason for this is, and I will just self-explain to you very quickly where I stand. Like I said, all I do is I just want people to be able to protect themselves against the United States government. And by that, I mean people who are, minorities, right? They should not have to worry about government coming in and taking their children, right? Because these are real things. It really did happen. People being deported, even though they have citizenship. People who are, being hurt, whether because you're Black, whether you're Asian, Latino, gay, I think people should have the right to protect themselves from other people who may wish to do them harm. And now I'm not saying that, but also the government as well. The government is very well capable of killing mass amount of people as well. So we also need to keep that in mind as well. But then again, United States, if they see you, they're just going to blow you up through the satellite. So then again, it really depends. But like I said, I feel like people should get protected, because what happened at the U.S. border is unacceptable. And I think those people should have the ability to protect themselves. Again, I just wanted to tell you guys, just so you know, this does not affect the read in any particular way. I am going to read this unbiased, of course. All right. So we have here, a lot of this is in the past. So we had a lot of big shootings, a lot of people who have been killed. Sandy Hook, right? We all remember that. I think called Palm Springs in Florida. I could be wrong. No, I think it's called Parkland. But all of them, all those people, those lives that people lost were meant to push us towards the narrative of gun control and gun reform, right? And so this is the thing that's pushing. A lot of it is that a lot of people are at home. So they're seeing this on a more daily basis, which means that it's going to not radicalize, so to speak, but it's going to get them to change their perspective on particular matters. Remember, I'm open to gun control. I'm open to gun reform, right? As long as we know our government is going to protect us and not someone else. You know what I mean? And so we have here as well, and by that I mean just white supremacists, because those are unacceptable. Okay, so we have here as well as we have tempers, right? It doesn't feel like it's going to get passed in the Senate right away. I feel like this would be a policy Biden's not going to pass through, right? we have here, it's not a new idea with these gun control and gun reforms, right? We have, as well as we have a lot of people who were unfortunately killed were unable to defend themselves against it. They were not even alerted or aware of this particular thing, right? Hi, BT. We have here, as well as we have the lovers reverse, what talked about is not going to happen under the Biden Harris administration, right? You can clearly tell that because the presidency cards here. So if you're really hoping for gun reform or gun control, it's not going to happen under President Biden, right? So like I said, I'm very bipartisan. I will always make sure I do not have my bias in my tarot card readings at all. I always want to let you guys know in advance before I do read. Okay, so I already asked that. Okay, anyway. So the next question that we want to ask is, I found this is quite interesting, actually. So I want to read this to you. And you guys can find this in the link to the description below after it's on replay, right? So the Democrats are currently reviewing whether to overturn a certified Iowa U.S. House election result. Iowa Democrat Rita Hart claimed 22 ballots were not counted due to voters not sealing it properly, she claims, to have won by 9 votes against freshman Republican Representative Marianne Miller Meeks, who won the race just by 6 votes. And so what I want to ask is, will the freshman Republican Representative Marianne Miller Meeks have her representative seat overturned in favor of Democrat Rita Hart in the state of Iowa? So that's really important, right? Democrats need every seat they can get. So let's kind of take a look at this. Will freshman Republican Representative Marianne Miller Meeks have a representative seat overturned in favor of Democrat Rita Hart in the state of Iowa? Okay, so very close, extremely close. It's very competitive, this district. What else do we need to know? All right, that's a lot of cards. Okay, will it be overturned? Can I have 1 card? All right, so this is the overturn. This is the final outcome. I don't know what it is, right? All right, so we have here the Ace of Wands, right? The Democrats won this district overwhelmingly, not overwhelmingly, but they won this district by a surprise in 2018, right? Like I said, this card told me that this is very competitive, with a very competitive Iowa representative race, right? And you can see that here, challenged by the competitiveness of this, right? But also people fighting because each vote counts, because 2020 election was the most important election, and every vote should count, indeed. What we have here, there is a change. So this is the final outcome here. We have a change, right? So the change from Republican to Democrat. And you can also see here in the final outcome card, this is the final outcome card, but the card that was here, I should have picked that card up first, but I would have gotten the same result anyway. It would have been Democratic. So it looks like there is a potential chance again for the seat to return to the Democrats. So again, we might have an extra representative in the House of Representatives for the Democrats. Okay, so the next question that we have to ask, because this is extremely important for you guys, right? I did the video on this. If you want to go check this video out, definitely go scroll through my video page and check out the Voting Rights Act versus voter suppression. It's really good. And a lot of you guys might be quite concerned about it, but not realize that I had this video made previously, right? Okay, so will even more Republican voter restriction be put in place before 2022 midterms? I'll kind of break it down a little bit. Okay. All right, so just say that the Republicans got the voter restrictions and by midterm 2022, right? This is the challenge. This is the Biden administration. It's reversed, right? What we have here, the challenges, I think this turned sideways, so please let me know if it was sideways. I don't quite remember, but I think it is. We have here as well, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Democrats will not win by big margins if these voter restrictions do get put in place. And by this, I'm telling you guys 2 different avenues of what the United States could experience. The Democrats could pass the Voting Rights Act and counteract this, or the Republicans will be putting in Republican voter restrictive bills, which I will be restricted in voting. That will do a lot of damage to the Democrats. We have here the Democratic Party, and this has to do with the election, right? This is the election card, right? We all know that is what will happen in the 2022 midterm. if the Republicans were able to, restrict voting in 2022 midterms, right? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. The next question second part of the question is we're going to ask is, will the Democrats be putting the Voting Rights Act and get it in place to strengthen voting in the 2022 midterms and beyond? So let's kind of ask what will happen in the 2022 midterms if the Voting Rights Act was to be put in place, right? I did keep getting it. It's going to get put in place, but let's just see a potential outcome in the 2022 midterms, right? So if the Voting Rights Act gets put into place, Spirits and Angels, right, the new one, what will happen in the 2022 midterms and beyond if the Voting Rights Act gets put into place? Okay, so my guys just told me this is the only card I need, and I can flat out tell you the Republican Party will do poorly. Will do poorly in these elections because they're the ones against those people. They're going to come out of retaliation against the GOP. Yeah, and it feels like the Democrats will do a lot better in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. And they will have massive victories. Massive victories. It's almost like a landslide type victory, like a blue wave instead of a red wave. So this is highly important. So, of course, like I said, definitely, of course, Senate love and light, we definitely sure need that. Definitely 100%. Okay, so now the next question that I want to do, because it's the second part of this question, is will the Democrats control in the House and Senate and presidency will they be able to win those again if the bill does not pass in the House, right? That does not pass, and by that I mean Voter Rights Act, right? So Spirits and Angels tell me, will the Democrats ever be able to win the House of Representatives, the Senate, or the presidency again if the Voting Rights Act does not get put into place before 2022 midterms? Will they ever be able to win again? I heard no, they will not with the current party administration. They will have to change their party in favor of the Republican image. Okay, so what else do we need to know? No, they would lose. They would not win again. The Republicans will control both the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court. Now, if the bill does not get passed, the Democrats will not win again. But we have here, the voters are down. The Democrats are unable to energize their voters. A lot of the voters are minorities, right? We have here democracy around the world in terms of the United States image is going to crash if this does not pass. The Democratic Party, as we know it, is going to leave. Right, the Democratic Party, as we know, is going to crash, and it almost feels like a new party emerges as a replacement of the Democratic Party. And we have here in the future, if this bill does not get passed, the Republicans hold on to everything, every control of power. And so this is the outcome that we're currently seeing. This is the current energy. Now, please keep in mind, just entertainment purposes only. All right. So, of course, I do hope you guys do like this type of content. Of course, we have different questions. It's quite interesting. So, DC statehood vote. Where do we stand now? Now, I have read on it many times, and I kept getting that DC and Puerto Rico would become states. But it has been a month since, I did the question. I figured this is the time to do it again. So, let's ask the question. Will DC votehood happen? Where do we stand? Hello, Jazzy. Hi, Miss Bessie. Hello, everyone. So, Spirits and Angels, where do we stand with the DC statehood? Will DC get statehood? Will DC get statehood? Now, remember, they got no representation, but they always get taxed, right? No taxation without representation. Where was that, right? I kept seeing 29, so for some of you guys, that might resonate. So, tell me about DC, District of Columbia. Will it become a state? Okay, so 3 cards came out. Hold on. I need water. My muscles are so tight. Anyway. Oh, sorry. We have the voters in reverse, right? They're not getting representation. This is in the past and this is in the future, right? What we have here is that now, there are people in the District of Columbia are not very happy. They're able to vote in terms of the presidency, but they're only able to do that since 1960, right? And it used to have no representation at all. It used to never be recognized by the United States government, right? Hi, Jane. Hi, Cynthia. We also have here, in terms of DC statehood, is we have, but it's going to be quite a fight. It is quite a fight, and the 3 electoral votes in DC are quite important, quite actually, if you believe it or not. But if DC was to become a district or, a state, it will gain 1 House of Representative seat and 2 Senate seats, which will add up to 3, right? The 3 stories here. We have here the Democrats will have less likely chance of having to struggle to win the Senate. This is why this is important. And it will be a lot easier for them to kind of have some sort of control and power. They need that. And even though it won't pass in the presidency, it will pass in the Senate. But it needs the support. It needs the vote. So the final outcome, as it currently stands today, no, DC will not pass as of right now. I just say it will pass many times, but let's just kind of see what else that we can get out of this. Will it pass and eventually? Will they see DC statehood within the 2020 decade? Will we see that? Yes. It will become a state within the 2020 decade. So within the next 10 years, you can certainly expect the District of Columbia to gain statehood. Okay, so we do have another good question. Definitely stay to the end of the video. I highly recommend it. So why did the Republicans truly vote against the Voting Rights of the Violence Against Women Act? This is kind of like the thing that's really important because, I don't like these type of things where they are, these simple things are like people need protection and are not even doing what they're supposed to do. But then again, there has been reports come out lately that of a Supreme Court decision that says that a cop or a police or an officer does not have to defend you in any particular way, or do not have to serve and protect you. Now, again, like I said, I'm not saying that because I do not support. But anyway, but what I will say is that this is a Supreme Court decision. This is not something that I'm saying just because I'm spreading conspiracy theories. This actually is a Supreme Court decision that blatantly says that a police officer did not have to defend anyone they wish not to defend. For example, this took place, I think, in a case where a woman was walking down the street and the police ignored the call that someone was following her, and they ignored it. It went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that the job of the police officer is not to protect and serve, and that he or she had the right to refuse service to that particular person. Again, that would explain why everything has happened the way it is, right? So, what do we need to know? Why did the Republicans truly vote against the Violence Act against women? Because you know what? A lot of these, I notice a lot. I'm not crapping on any tarot readers or anything like that. But there are so many issues here, and this is a big issue. You know what I mean? And that's why I want to cover this, because I'm probably going to be the only one who covers important issues like this, right? Because everyone matters, not just because it's trending. So, Spirits and Angels tell me, Violence Against Women Act. Why did the Republicans vote against it? There was no motive. There was no incentive to vote against it. Why? Why did they do it? Why did the Republicans vote against it? Okay. This is dark. This is dark. This is not what I expected. In terms of, the Republicans truly voting against it, what I can say, it was something that would have been something the Republicans would have supported back in, let's say, the 1950s, not now. What we have here is unpredictability. Unpredictability with the strength and the power of the hatred of the GOP, right? So they, I'm not trying to say, like I said, I am bipartisan when I do read, but it does come up here, and that's why I'm reading. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, right? And we have here, this is Trump. You all know this is Trump, right? We have the devil, but this is also talked about corruption, desires. And they see these women as people who they can control. And so by killing them or allowing them to be killed, they can easily keep women at a point of fear. And this way, so that if they need to control somebody, they can control a woman, right? Because the only way and I hate to say this, and I don't want to bring this into conspiracy level type thing, but just say hypothetically it was true. How do you get to someone's children, right? You control the woman because if the woman's in fear, she's not going to be able to protect her kid because she's scared of what could happen to her. And now I'm not saying that she's not going to get that motherhood type intuition, but again, like I said, when you are in fear, you bring in those negative entities, those negative emotions, and they have a bad outcome, right? The same thing. They want you to stay in fear. They want you to be in fear. They want you to feel inferior because as long as this happens, women will never grow to their true potential, right? And on my end and on my channel, I want you, each and every single one of you, no matter who you are, whether you're Asian, whether you're Black, whether you're woman, whether you're gay, no matter who you are, I want you to grow because this is a safe place. But I can only do so much until I get censored by YouTube or anything like else like that, right? So you guys need to make sure that you never ever feel inferior to anyone because you are in control of your life and no one should be in control of yours. And again, I also feel like, again, this refers to some of these people, and I hate to say it, but it does seem like it's coming through, that some of these women who ended up in a situation where they're being followed, not all of them, a lot of these women who are doing it are either, and I don't want to be self-explanatory, but you know what happened when someone grabs you and they sexually abuse you? I think that's the best terminology. That's what I'm seeing here. A lot of these women who get abortion so they can control them and say, well, it's your fault. But I'm also getting as well that a lot of these women who are walking by themselves as well is also getting targeted. And I'm not trying to put it on somebody, but if they're wearing blue, you probably know who they are. Again, I also feel like they are involved in some particular way or fashion, right? And it does feel like there's a plan here that to punish those who have gotten abortions is what I got. So that's why I'm trying to come out. The reason why I came out so slowly again was because I'm trying to put this in a way that doesn't scare you guys, right? Again, this is what I'm seeing for why they voted against the violence against women docs. Very disgusting, not gonna lie. Okay, so where do we stand on the filibuster? A little bit lighter of an energy, right? So let's act about that. You know, I still say that the filibuster feels like it's going to be either removed or reformed. So let's kind of get a little bit more deeper into that. Where do we stand on the filibuster? The Senate filibuster, right? The Senate needs 60 votes in order to pass any sort of major legislation, right? So where do we stand in the filibuster as of right now? Will there be reform? Will they remove it entirely? Will it just stay as put? What's happening with the filibuster? Okay, there's too many cards, so I'm going to put that here. Use this as the past, and use this as the future, and can we have one final outcome? Okay, so this is the final outcome, right? So you guys can see this. And these two are also the final outcome as well. So let's just kind of see. So we have strength, right? The strength of the GOP. The GOP uses the filibuster often, right? They did this to Obama, right? The Democrats did not have that 60 majority needed in order to pass any sort of legislation under Barack Obama, right? He was a Democrat. Okay. We have here in the future that this is Miss McConnell. Miss McConnell's trying to hold on to power to prevent Joe Biden from winning the midterm, right? He's just trying to hold on just enough so that Joe Biden does not win the midterm. What we have here, what one should I do first, Spirit? All right, so you want me to do this one? Again, this is the challenge, is whether or not it can go either way. The challenge is the competitiveness within the Senate, the inability to be bipartisan, the inability to have crossover support, right? The partisanship in the Senate. The final outcome here is the new page, and it's for Joe Biden. So it's telling me that it's going to be a new page. They're going to turn over the page and say, well, you know what? You're being obstruction, and you're not doing it for a good reason, and we're going to get rid of it. It almost feels like they're going to get rid of the Jim Crow law as well, which is exactly what this is. I just keep seeing angel numbers today. Oh, my God. I just saw 39. So for some of you guys, if that resonates with you, that might be something you may need to hear. Okay, so let's get into this part, and then the rest of it, we have 2 more questions, and then we're done. Actually, 3 more, but this is very important. It's all about Trump now. I'll be talking a little bit more in depth about his court cases I have to kind of read on it to kind of get more information before I do actually any sort of reading. Thank you, Princess. I love you. Hello, Sandra. Okay, so Spears and Angel tell me Trump wants the GOP and NRA, which is the National Republican Committee, to stop using his name on advertising. I want to kind of find out why he wants them to remove that, right? So Spears and Angel tell me about this. Why? Why does Trump want the GOP and NRA to stop using his name as advertising? Why is that? Okay, this is self-explanatory. I think we already knew what this is. The answer says it here. Trump is in deep, deep water when it comes to investigation, right? He is in big trouble, and he is trying to scam his money out of people, thinking that he is going to get the justice that they want, but really he's just pocketing that cash to help him pay for his legal troubles. So again, that's self-explanatory. This is kind of funny because it just came out exactly what I was thinking. Again, we have here as well, we have the Night of Stories. He's afraid of Biden. He is a PUSSY. Anyway. Okay, so the GOP and the NRA said no, and they are very pissed off at Donald Trump, right? Will he form a new political party, right? Because if Trump is very angry, he's going to form a new political party, and this is where this information comes in. So I don't know if you guys know this, and I'm going to educate you a little bit. Do you know that when a president loses re-election and he runs again after that, he will be considered another president? Like, he would not be considered 45 because it's not a consecutive presidency. Therefore, Donald Trump would be, if he was to win in 2024, he will be considered the 47th president of the United States, not the 45th. And so we're going to be asking a question about that particularly. Again, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of tower readers are reading as if he will be at 45, so but really he will need to act is, will he be the 47th president? And I see 47 right now of you guys on, so that's just a little significant as well. But I'm going to show you guys a little history here, right? Let me go to that screen. Hold on. Give me one moment, okay? Okay, so as you see here, is I'm going to be asking a particular question is, will Donald Trump pull a Grover Cleveland? Right, in 1884, Grover Cleveland won with 219 to James G. Blaine, a Republican, with 182. In 1888, he was defeated from Benjamin Harris, and just remember, this is 1800s. This is when popular vote winner don't always win the electoral college. Again, the trends are following in 2024. Again, we have here as well, we have Levy P. Morton, where the Republican won with 233 to 168 to the Democrats, and the Democrats won the popular vote. This is one of the, I think, this is the second time presidential winner of the popular vote lost the electoral college. Again, Grover Cleveland won again. He ran again in 1892. Yes, in 1892. And he won re-election with 277 to the Republican 145, and he actually won the popular vote as well. And so why is this significant? Because he considered two separate presidents. That's why I'm bringing this up. And I'm going to be asking the question is, will Donald Trump pull a Grover Cleveland in 2024? Or potentially this outcome is, will Donald Trump pull a Teddy Roosevelt, where he, a little thing is, Teddy Roosevelt has some beef with the Republican candidate of the Republican president as well, William Howard Taft. Remember, Theodore Roosevelt was the former president, right? And William Howard Taft was a VP, and Teddy Roosevelt gave the presidency over to Taft, didn't like what Taft was doing, and so he decided to run as a progressive party and handed the Democrats an astounding victory again in 1912. And so the reason why I bring this up, because I would like to know what is our likely outcome for Donald Trump, of course, right? All right, thank you, Angel. Number 339 3939 is a message of spiritual enlightenment and fate and destiny. This angel number is not common in messages and it occurs in very specific life circumstances. That's pretty interesting. Thank you. It's really interesting. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This number is reserved for people who possess great spiritual capabilities, but those who ask questions regarding their own spiritual path. That's interesting because that would not a spiritual path question, but that's kind of interesting. I do have an angel deck, so I'll definitely be using that. Thank you, Angel. Thank you. Thank you so much for the donation. Yes, so we're going to get back to the question as well. Thank you, Princess Dinglin. Guys, it doesn't show up that you guys do the sticker until after I have to check the, the live chat, so I apologize. But let's go back to this particular question. Will the GOP and the NRA say no, and will this piss off Trump and form a new party? So basically, will he form a Teddy Roosevelt type thing? So let's take a look. Will Donald Trump form a new political party against the GOP in 2022 and 2024 for the next election? Okay, so I don't see anything in the midterm, but I don't see anything in 2022 midterm with President Trump and his, political party. We have here he lost in the past, right? He was the former president. We have here the Democrats are currently in power, right? There's kind of Nancy Pelosi. So Nancy Pelosi's gone by this point. We have here information or money or something coming out the voters. I feel like it's the votes here. And that they're not being judgmental. They're not kind of picking and understanding what it is that's going on. And we have here the presidency reverse, right? They don't really understand how the presidency works. Again, it makes sense. A lot of these people don't really know much about history or how the United States initially works, right? Donald Trump would not be the 45th president. He will be the 47th, right? So I want to ask is, will Donald Trump form a political party in 2024? So let's ask. Okay, that was quick. New party. Okay, so if Donald Trump formed a new party in 2024, right? This is what ended up happening. Hi, Gabe. Hi, Jane. Hi, Skylight. Hello, everyone. Hello, Sterling. Hi, Princess. Okay, I think I got everybody. Anyway, so we have here the Knight of Swords reverse. So this is Biden, right? So Biden's probably out of power by this point, and probably Kamala's in power, right? We have here as well, we have the Chariot reverse. He was not able to experience his re-election in 2020, right? We have here on the left side, on the right side, excuse me, we have here, he's not able to get them to pull another January 6th type thing, or maybe he is. Potentially, I don't know. As of right now, it's the current energies. What we do have here, though, is that here's the media. Remember, Trump is coming out with a new social media platform, but Donald Trump does not have a social media platform right now, which means that this is the path of him right now. I'll read on it again when he does come out with his political, with his new app, social media app. We have here the Sun. Donald Trump will end up probably coming up as the new Republican frontrunner. It does feel like if he does not win the GOP nomination, or he is somehow betrayed by the GOP, Donald Trump will indeed form a new political party. And we have here, he won't be able to steal votes right away. It'll be like Donald Trump will be underperforming in the polls, right? It does feel like that, and the GOP doesn't really feel worried or anything. Then come election night, the GOP basically toasted, and so is Trump. So it looks like if Donald Trump does form a political party in 2024, this is the likely outcome. Again, this is in the future. This is actually the future because this is the past card. Upright, this is reverse, which tells me that this is the most likely going to happen. Now, again, I don't make predictions. I just give you likely outcome based on current energies. Okay, so if Trump is the 47th president, that's 11, which is the master number. Yeah, okay, so guys, I don't know if you guys noticed this, so thank you for mentioning that, Jane. So yes, 47 is 11, and 11 is a master number. A master number, if you look it up, it basically talked about spiritual growth, spiritual awakening, learning hard lessons and stuff like that. So again, if the United States was to have Trump, we will have to undergo a spiritual change, a big growth, a big change in the United States. So if he does win, of course, that will be the most likely outcome, right? So there's that. 11 is not always a good number in terms of certain things, particularly in Donald Trump's case, right? So, will Trump pull a Grover Cleveland and win re-election after losing re-election? Basically, will he win re-election after losing 2020 election, or will he pull a Teddy Roosevelt and run third party and make the GOP lose as well? I'm gonna look at different potential outcomes, or will Trump just die or something? That was just something I wanted to do. And then, of course, we'll finish off the question with, will Donald Trump be elected as the 47th president of the United States? And then we got some answer reading for you. Okay, so Spirit Angels will tell me, will Donald Trump pull a Grover Cleveland and win re-election after losing re-election? Can you give me a card on that? Okay, so we have competitive race. What else? Can I have one more card on this outcome? Okay. I'm gonna zoom that here, and then can I have one more card for the fun outcome? All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. So this is for Grover Cleveland. So I'm gonna put this here. So this is for Grover Cleveland outcome, right? If Donald Trump were to run like Grover Cleveland, if Donald Trump were to run like Teddy Roosevelt and pull a third party against the GOP in 2024, what do we need to know? What will happen? Okay. Can I have one more card for the final outcome? Okay, that's a lot of cards. Again, this is a lot of energy. It feels like there's so many possibilities for this to happen. So this is Teddy Roosevelt. And let's just kind of see, will he just pass away or something like that? You know, I did get that thing that he was going to pass away after winning the primaries. Will he pass away? Will Donald Trump pass away and never become will never become president again after the 2024 election? Okay. All right, so we have 3 different outcomes, and some of them look more like possibilities than others. So we're going to get into it, right? Okay, so what we have here is for Grover Cleveland, right? What we have is the election is going to be pretty damn tight, right? And, you know, third time's the charm, right? Exactly. He might lose 3 times. He might even lose 3 states, maybe like Iowa, Texas, and Ohio this time to the Democrats, which I think will put the Democrats to 390, if I'm correct with my number. Right, we have here as well, we have the corrupt government in the past, right? The corruption, the thing that he was doing, overturning election. He will never win the popular vote again. He does not have the popular vote. Grover Cleveland won the popular vote in all 3 elections that he ran. Donald Trump only never won the popular vote, which means that he does not have a mandate and does not have enough supporters to re-elect him. Right? We have here as well, we have the Ace of Cups, right? If he does win, he is going to get a lot more support than he does in 2020. So he will get a lot more of the political vote. I mean, a lot more of the popular vote than he did in 2020 and 2016. But he won't win the popular vote, if you know what I mean. The Democrats will have more of the popular vote than they did in 2020. What we have here is, though, this is for Teddy Roosevelt now. Will Donald Trump pull Teddy Roosevelt and win split third party, right? So these are 3 different potential outcomes that we can see with Trump. We have the Ace of Swords, right? So there is a potential chance. He was defeated. This is the incumbent taking the sword and shoving it through the incumbent and, you know, potentially killing him in the case he lost re-election. What we have here is in the present, we have a change in direction, a change in the political party. However, he is not going to get the support or the need from this. So it looks like this is the least likely outcome. If anything, it's either Grover Cleveland or death. More likely outcome than not. But let's just kind of see. We have this is funny. Let's just go to this and then we'll go back. All right. So what we have here is will Donald Trump end up dying, right? Because that's just something that could happen. I mean, his age is up there. Right, and we have here as well is that this is the most likely outcome. Out of 9 out of 10, this is a likely chance for Donald Trump. And I said this before. I read on this, and I said I see Donald Trump, you know, running for president, win the primary, but end up dying sometime after the primary, but never makes it to the election day. If you know what I mean, right? We have here as well, and I got like he dies, I think May 25th, 2025, or something like that. That was weird. I don't know. Maybe that. Then, like I said, just for entertainment purposes only, right? I don't determine someone's death, but that was weird. Again, like we said here, he will end up having a likely chance. A lot of people are manifesting this, okay? This is something that's been heavily manifested. It's the most likely outcome. The universe definitely wants this. And I don't speak on the universe half, but it does look like this is within his divine path, potentially pass away. We do have here, it's in the works, right? He's doing it to himself, potentially doing it to himself. And the cards kind of stay here as well for the Teddy Roosevelt, which is why I wanted to read on this particular outcome first before I read on this. Because we have here is that we have his political career is over. Like, he won't have to support. He's not Grover Cleveland. Right? He does not have support that Teddy Roosevelt had. His political career is over, but also he's telling me this death. This is death. And he is a two-term, he is not a two-term, but he is a two-time impeached president. Right? And so this is kind of interesting to see. I like the outcome. If I would put my money or bet on it, death, honey. Death. This would be the likely outcome. Okay. So now that we have all this out of the way, let's ask the most final important question of today. Will Donald J. Trump be elected as the 47th president of the United States? So let's ask. This is the drum roll. I don't know how loud that was, but I do apologize if it does hurt your ears. On the microwave, I saw 11:11. Got so excited and stepped back. It was like 11:17. Dang it. Made myself giggle for a little bit. That's funny. Cute. All right. I'm just going to mix it up. I don't know where the cards look, so we got to get more of an accurate, reading. All right, just hold on 1 second. Okay, this is the most important part. This is like where the suspense comes in, okay, guys? The suspense. Now, guys, I want you to make your predictions in the live chat. If you're here with me live right now, let me know right now. I'll give you a minute to let me know what you think. Will Donald John Trump be elected at the 46th president? Listen to your intuition and let me know what you think. Jane, I answered that question a very long time ago. Will Donald Trump will other countries nail Trump for crimes against humanity? I got a yes. Okay, I'll give you guys 1 more minute. I'm going to drink some water because I really need water. So I'll give you guys to make your predictions here. All right. Whew. Okay, so Spirit Angel tell me, well, Donald John Trump. Well, I gotta really sense this because I do not want any demonic thing from Trump in here. Hold on 1 second. Gotta turn this baby up and get hot in here, right? I want to keep the suspense going for a little bit. This is not working. All right, give me 1 second. Will Donald Trump be elected at the 47th president? Okay, I hope this fire does not burn the house down. Yeah, he is sick. I agree. But you know what? Anything could possibly happen, so that's why I read on these type of questions. All right, so will Donald John Trump be elected as the 47th president of the United States? Will Donald Trump be elected as the 47th president of the United States in 2024? Will he be elected as the 47th president of the United States if he was to fully make it through the election? Will he become the 47th president of the United States? Oh, okay. All right, anyway. So, are you ready, guys? Are you ready? So, I kept hearing in my head when I was placing these cards, the president is down, the president is down. So, like I was saying, Donald Trump is most likely going to pass away before the election, which is why I thought that when I did that, singing bowl thing, it said 5/25, 25/25. It was really weird because it was like way after the election. Like that was, the new president would be in office, right? We have here election night. This is kind of the storyline, right? This is election night, right? November something. What we have here, we have the Queen of Pentacles. It's not a woman. So the GOP does not have a woman. The president is that. I feel like this could have even happened on election night. Like he passed it away after election night because he, something like that happened. We have here the hospital, but he doesn't make it to the hospital in time. There's like something happening. Maybe he doesn't have the presidential thing to go to. Oh, look, there's a card on here. We have here. So we had the hospital. And this is kind of weird. I did not know there was another card here, right? We have his end of the world is almost over, but here it is. His fate is not decided yet. His fate is not decided, which means that he could very well become the 47th president. However, what I did get before I even saw this card, we have Ace of Cups. Oh, this thing is not smoking. This is Frankenstein, so this is really like... Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, baby. Okay. Now we're smoking. Okay? We have here the Ace of Cups reverse. And this kind of talks about he won't even win. He does not have the electoral college numbers, does not have the popular vote numbers to win. Right? We also have here Kamala Harris. So I feel like he's going to go up against Kamala Harris. If he was to run, it would be most likely Kamala Harris that will take the place of President Biden. Right? So, I'm going to ask one more particular question. Can you give me the final outcome? What is the likely chance of Donald Trump running again? Actually, let me ask this card. I'm going to ask the Uno. The famous Uno cards, right? Let's ask what Uno has to say. So, Spirits and Angels, tell me, what is the likelihood chance of Donald Trump becoming the 47th president? What is the likelihood chance of Donald Trump becoming the 47th president? I will literally shit my pants right now if I see 4 and 7. Okay, let's just kind of get an idea. What is the likelihood chance of Donald Trump becoming the 47th president? Okay, so... what the hell is this? I don't do math. Okay, so... oh my God, guys. You know how I said I see 74? Wait, no, 47, right? There is a... Okay, guys, this is weird, okay, because we have an 8 here, right? An 8, so he has an 8% chance, but he has the likelihood of becoming, president. We have here is we have 7, 4, right? So, what does this look like? 47. But it was 74. This is 74, right? 74 million people voted for him. We have here 64 million people voted for him in 2016. If Donald Trump wins again, he'll win by 87 million in terms of the popular vote. But at the end of the thing, we have 47. So the thing is that, it does look here, based on what the Uno cards are telling me, that 74, that no, he will not be. But it also tells me 74 is at the bottom of the card. So again, it does look like it's really weird. We have 47. I said if 45, so 47 comes out, I'm gonna crap myself. So literally, I am crapping my pants right now. You guys don't even know how much is coming out. But the point is, let's just kind of get one more thing. Let's just get like a sort of percentage. Okay, they gave me 3 cards. Okay, so it's wild. Like, Donald Trump could win this thing, and that's the scary part about this. We have here, he could either win by 52 electoral college votes, it could be 25%, 52%, even 52%. This is the likelihood chances of him becoming the 47th president. That's what the Uno cards are saying. So, the Uno cards seem to be a little bit more accurate than the Tower cards I have found. But again, that was very weird. So I'm going to put it in. And let's just try one more time. Now, I did not expect this, although I did see him, I thought at 47. So let's just kind of get a little bit more of a deeper look. Again, like I did say, Donald Trump can very well win again. He could pull a Grover Cleveland. Not that out of possibility, right? It's not the first time it didn't happen. All right, so Spirit and Angel tell me, give me the likely outcome. Is this the most likely outcome? Is Donald Trump going to become the 47th president? Give me one number. Give me one number out of 1 to 10. If the number is higher and closer to 10, he is more likely to become the 47th president. If he's lower and closer to 0, then he is less likely to become in 47th president. This is weird. Guys, this is weird. Look. So you know how I said 1, if it's closer to 0, is less likely. But if it's closer to 10, it's likely. So what we got a 9 and a 1. Which basically tell me it's not decided yet. He can become the 47th president. And so, again, we do have here 0. So again, guys, like I've been saying to you guys all along, Donald Trump can become the 47th president. It's not out of grasp for him. You know, I do a little bit of tarot all the time, and what I can certainly tell you, without a doubt, is that I have been doing some statistic work, and it's not a possibility for him to become the 47th president. If you guys have watched my video a while ago, I talked about you know, in 2024 it's supposed to be a Democrat. A Democrat's supposed to win. However, if they're supposed to win like 3 terms, so it'll be 12 years for the Democrats. But what I end up getting, that it all depends on voter turnout. It depends on voter suppression, voting rights, and also depends on foreign interference, right? That's what I got from those readings. So this is very important. This is why this is why I put things on my channel, right? I talk about election interference, why it's very important. Why I talk about voting rights acts and why it's important. Because I'm telling you, there's a plan here, right? Because if you only get, just say Donald Trump lost the state of Arizona, Wisconsin, and Georgia by less than 20,000 votes, right? If they can only get 0.5% of those people to switch over and not be able to vote, guess what? Donald Trump wins all of them because thrown to the House of Representatives. It's clearly shown that the Republicans can do better on down ballots than Donald Trump can, and they can reelect him at the 47th president, right? And so again, that is. We'll update you guys. We'll keep checking on this. This is why I do like polling things. You know, like I said, it has changed. The energy changed as time went on. And the question is that people are asking is, will Donald Trump become the 45th president? No, he cannot be. The 45th president is over. He will become the 47th president if he was to win re-election. Which is why we need to ask important questions, which is why I'm very into history, because I want to ask the important question. Asking will he become the 45th president is an important question. A lot of readers don't know that. That's why they're asking the wrong question. The right question is what gives you the right answer. You know what I mean? So again, a lot of you guys I have seen, a lot of you guys are saying here, well, how can Donald Trump win if he's a criminal? There's no law. He's impeached, but he never got convicted. Therefore, he cannot be barred from running for office, at least not right now, right? So that's what I'm seeing for the 45th president. I should not call him that. For Donald Trump, don't know why I just said 47, but that's what I'm seeing, right? We'll say Kamala Harris, the 47th president, or Biden or whatnot, but that's what we're seeing right now. Again, what I do on my reading, if you're new here, I kind of read on the overall energy to kind of tell you what's the likely outcome and path. So that is that. Let's end off on a very good note. Let's do some angelic reading. Hi, Chris. Everyone, I'm going to sleep, but I was getting ready to listen to some night music and saw you, love. Hi, Melda. We're almost done. Don't worry, love. They needed to convict him. Yeah, they needed to convict him, I agree. They need the 14th Amendment him. Yes, but it never been used, and so that's kind of hard to kind of see how they will do that procedure. We're going to use this brand new deck, which is called Archetype. And so this is your angelic reading, and we'll end it off with 2 little messages from your Easter eggs, right? Okay, so Spirit and Angel, tell me, what messages do you have for my viewers? Interesting. Okay. Who's a Libra? Who is a Libra here? Can all my Libras step through? What other messages do you have, spirits and angels, for my viewers? Any angelic messages you would like to let them know? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have some few things here, right? I remember what they said. I don't know if you guys watched it. I have very good remembrance of the 2016 election. They said Donald Trump, somebody within Donald Trump thing said you can steal an election and the voter machine will not detect any sort of voter malfunction and manipulation if it's under 3%, which means that if it's raised like Georgia, Arizona, and Wisconsin are under 3%, which they all are, it can easily be manipulated and flipped the other way. So that's how Donald Trump was able to win in 2016. We have here, as well as we have famous. So for some of you guys, we just talked about, you might be very well known within the tarot community. Some of you guys are going to become tarot card readers. Some of you guys might be very well known in whatever niche that you decide to pursue, right? We do have here chemistry. Some of you guys, I feel like this is talking about us right now. I feel like a lot of us is, you have chemistry, like you're able to feel really socialize with both me and people here. So this is talking about the chemistry between us, and that is a very healthy chemistry, if you know what I mean. We have here, for those of you guys who are Libra, this is what I'm talking about. If you're not Libra, this does not mean that this does not apply to you. This does apply to everyone. We have Libra here, right? And it talks about justice. We're trying to find how can we help the earth in the best way possible. And that's what it feels like was really being given to us right now by the angels to tell me and you that we need to come together as a collective and start asking questions that otherwise other people are not asking. So like this, finding justice in the darkness. Even if your eyes are closed, you have to do what's right, even when it's hard. And we have here distant, retreat, or time out. Some of you guys might need some distant or retreat. Some of you guys need to be relaxed. I feel like this is talking to you about your reflection. You're too focused on the past. Look at the woman. She's looking at this guy in the past, but look at her reflection. She's not looking at herself. You need to kind of allow yourself to see that mirror image of you. And we also have here as well, we have air. Ace, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Again, so that's for some of you guys as well. But again, we all fragmented. We're almost to come together. I feel like a lot of you guys were fragmented when you come onto my channel. I'm not trying to promote my channel any particular way, but it does feel like as if a lot of you guys came onto my channel, you were a little bit fragmented in some particular way, but you're better now in some particular fashion. And this also applies to a lot of you guys who are Aquarius, right? It's talking about finding your inner strength, finding your inner beauty. Look at the love, look at the roses. She understands who she is because she's able to look from within. And so that is what the message that I am getting from my guides about this particular reading. So, of course, if you do like this, let me know. We're going to do the angelic part of this reading for you. Easter egg! Yes! Let me get my little bunny ears. And I'm back. Let's get my little bunny ears so you guys can get your messages. All right, I'm going to put new messages in today, so that should be fun. Okay, so Spirits and Angels, tell me, what messages do you have for my viewers? Okay. Ooh, blue. Oops, almost went right into the wall. Anything else? Okay, they want me to take this one. There's a crystal in here. I don't know what crystal this is. It's been in there for like a week or two. So let's just see what messages do you guys have for you. Okay, pick what one you guys want. I'll give you a moment. Pause the video if you're watching this on replay. One of them has a crystal. Figure out what one has the crystal, what type of crystal it is, because I don't know, so I can't tell you. I'll give you a moment. Really? That's really cool, Jane. That's interesting that that's what I got in the reading. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to do the purple, not purple, the blue egg. So your message for blue is eat a banana. Okay? I don't know where that came from. I don't know why I even wrote that. But eat a banana. Maybe you need the potassium. Maybe it's telling you to go with your man, or I don't know. You could figure that out for yourself, but eat a banana. You might need to eat healthier, something like that. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But for some of you guys, as you all know, what either one has a crystal. You gotta figure out what one and what kind of crystal. I'll give you a moment to figure out what type of crystal it is. Hopefully, I don't actually spoil this one. We have here, as well as you have, you are loved. So you guys need to know that you are loved and that you are appreciated. You are adored. People love you. People think about you all the time. You need to trust that, okay? I'm switching to yellow. Yes, definitely switch to yellow. If you're allergic to bananas, it could also be something else, and I'll let you kind of listen to your intuition, kind of figure out what that particularly may mean for you. So, for those of you guys who have said it, your crystal is, and I'm about to reveal, if you want more time, pause the video now. It is a howlite. And guys, I will be changing the crystal, so if I were you, you'll probably want to get the same thing. But that's for you guys to know that in the next time. But I hope you guys do like this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content such as this. I love you and have a very beautiful night. If you guys check out my other channel, definitely do so. Please also know that not every video can resonate. It is for a large audience. It's for every age group. It's for everyone as well. Everyone from all different types of backgrounds. So not everything's going to resonate. So just go to the video. Of course, if you are attracted to it, don't just force yourself to watch it, okay? Although I do appreciate the support and love. If you're not meant to watch it, do not force yourself to watch it, okay? I love you guys and have a very beautiful night. You just had a banana. That's interesting. But anyway, I love you guys and have a beautiful night. Bye.